All right, hello and welcome back to another Mr. Pisto Plays Deck Tech with the multicolored commanders in MTG Arena Brawl. Today we have Boros with Akiri Fearless Voyager, a 3/3 legendary core warrior creature. And the deck is warrior sub-themed with obviously equipment, because that is what Akiri does best. Whenever you attack a player with one or more equipped creatures, draw a card. So you get to draw cards when you have equipped creatures. You can pay a white and unattach an equipment from a creature you control. If you do, tap that creature and it gains indestructible until the end of turn, so you can attack, draw your card, and then make it indestructible. We have a cast of different equipment that we can use. There's lots. I've picked a specific few. Cliffhaven Kite Sail. I picked a few, or most of the cards that equip automatically, so you don't actually have to pay for it. So it costs one generic mana. When it enters the battlefield, attach it to target creature you control. Catch creature. Equipped creature has flying. Then we have Shadow Spear. 1 mana gives equipped creature +1/+1. Trample and lifelink, and you can pay 1 to have permanents your opponent's control lose hexproof and indestructible until the end of turn. Get rid of those pesky gods if you need to. Cost 2 to equip. Utility Knife, 1 mana. When it enters the battlefield, attach it to target creature. Gets +1/+1. Its equip cost is pretty high at 3, but I feel like the automatic equipping is quite useful when you have Akiri. Crystal Slipper, 2 mana, 1 to equip to give equip creature +1/+0 and has haste. Mirror Shield, equip creature gets +0/+2 and has hexproof. And whenever a creature with Death Touch blocks or becomes blocked by this creature, destroy that creature. So it costs 2 to equip, gives hexproof. Relic Axe is a 2 mana equipment. When it enters the battlefield, attach it to a target creature you control. Equipped creature gets +1/+1. If it's a warrior, it gets +2/+1. Has equipped 2. The 2 probably biggest impact of the equipment that we have so far with the sets that are out. Maul of the Skyclaves is a 3 mana equipment. When it enters the battlefield, attach it to target creature you control. Equipped creature +2/+2 and has flying and first strike. And after the creature dies, it costs you 2 white and 2 colorless to re-equip. Ember Cleave is 6 mana with flash. This spell costs 1 generic mana less to cast for each attacking creature you control. If you play standard, you know all about this thing. When Ember Cleave enters the battlefield, attach it to target creature you control. The creature gets +1/+1, has double strike and trample. And for the low cost of 3 generic mana, you can equip it later. Those are the equipment for the deck. Next up, we have a host of warriors. The sub-theme in the deck is warriors. We have 2 mana core Blade Master. It is a 1/1 with double strike, and equipped warriors you control have double strike. Seasoned Hollowblade is a 2 mana 3/1, and you can discard a card, tap Seasoned Hollowblade, and it gains indestructible to the end of turn. Target Intimidator is another 3/1 for 2. Cowards can't block warriors, so choose one that hasn't been chosen this turn. Target Intimidator gets +1/+1 until the end of turn. Target creature becomes a coward until the end of turn. So you can make, if it's 1/1, you can make your creature unblockable. And finally, target warrior gains trample until the end of turn. Then we have the Expedition Champion is a 3 mana 2/3 warrior. It's +2/+low as long as you control another warrior. Argon War Leader is a 3 mana 3/3. Other warriors you control get +1/+1. Ogre Battle Driver. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, that creature gets +2/+0 and gains haste till the end of turn. Aktos the Unscarred is a 2 red 2 white 6/1, and he attacks each combat if able. As he enters the battlefield, choose 2, 3, or 4 at random. Actos has protection from each converted mana cost other than the chosen number. So it has protection from everything but one of those. So he can be hard to deal with. Mog, Fury of Akum, is a 6 mana 6/6. Each creature you control gets +1/+0 for each time it has attacked this turn. Note, for this landfall trigger, play the land after your first attack. You play it before your first attack, it just assumes that it is your second attack and everything fizzles. So play your land after you've attacked. Whenever land enters the battlefield under your control, if it's your main phase, this should say your second main phase. There's an additional combat phase after this phase. The beginning of that combat, untap all creatures you control. I got with this the first time I actually had it ever in play. So something to think about. If you're going to play your land for Mog to get another attack, play it on your second main phase. I put Amaria's Call in this column because the 2 creatures you make are Angel Warrior creature tokens. So for 7 mana, you get 2 4/4 Angel, White Angel Warrior creature tokens with flying. Non-angel creatures you control gain indestructible until your next turn. Right, those are the creatures, the warriors, and the equipment in the deck. You think I made some good choices? Hit that like button, subscribe to see more of my content, and put the notifications so that you know when the video comes up. On to the removal, and there's a decent amount here. These are just straight removal spells with a little bit upside, but mainly just removal. So shock, kill something little at the beginning. Same idea with Glass Casket. When it enters the battlefield, exile target creature an opponent controls with converted mana cost 3 or less. Until Glass Casket leaves the battlefield. Fire Prophecy does 3 damage to a target creature. You can put a card from your hand on the bottom of your library. If you do so, draw a card. Banishing Light. When it enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent an opponent controls until Banishing Light leaves the battlefield. Gets rid of anything. Azul's Fury. You have to have a creature in play for this one to work. It's basically an expensive fling. As an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice a creature. Azul's Fury deals damage equal to the sacrificed creature's power to a target. So you can throw the last bit of damage at your opponent, or if you have a creature that you just played and you have enough mana, you can instantly use it to get something out of the way, or it can come into play tapped as a land. Soul Seer deals 5 damage to target creature or planeswalker. That permanent loses indestructible until the end of turn. And that costs 3 mana for an instant. Elspeth Conquers Death is a 5 mana enchantment saga. First part, exile target permanent an opponent controls with converted mana cost 3 or greater. Gets rid of that big nasty thing that's in the way. Non-creature spells your opponent's cast cost 2 more to cast until your next turn. And then you can return target creature or planeswalker card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Put a 1/1 counter on it, or a loyalty counter. This is artifact and enchantment removal and life gain if you're in a pinch, but usually if you're doing that, you're probably dying anyways. So you can pay 2 and X. Use 1 to destroy X target artifacts and or enchantments. Always really good artifacts and enchantments in Brawl. And target player gains twice X life. Then we have Shatter Skull Smashing. It can enter play as a untapped land if you pay 3 life. Playing standard right now, you will see a lot of this. Shatter Skull Smashing deals X damage divided as you choose among up to 2 target creatures and or planeswalkers. X is 6 or more. Shattered Skull Smashing deals twice X damage divided as you choose among them instead. You deal a lot of damage if you can cast this on 8. We have some supporting creatures that do things. Luminarch Aspirant is a 2 mana 1/1. Beginning of combat on your turn, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. Bone Crusher Giant could be in the removal section. I put it here because it is a ability creature. It can do for its instant adventure stomp. Damage can't be prevented this turn. Stomp deals 2 damage to any target. Whenever Bone Crusher Giant becomes the target of a spell, Bone Crusher Giant deals 2 damage to that spell's controller, and it is a 3 mana 4/3. You have Annex Hardened in the Forge. I love this card. One of my favorite cards in Standard. Brawl. For 3 mana, you get a star 3, where his power is equal to your devotion to red. Whenever Annex or another non-token creature you control dies, create a 1/1 red Theater creature token with this creature can't block. If the creature had power 4 or greater, create 2 of these tokens. So it's a removal magnet, and it also makes sure you can have a board state here in the game if they start taking out other things. Torbrand makes your red sources hit harder, which there are plenty of in the deck. Costs 3 red and a colorless for a 2/4 Dwarf Noble. If a red source you control would deal damage to an opponent or a permanent an opponent controls, it deals that much damage plus 2 instead. Then we have the Fireborn Knight. This is kind of a flex spot. I'm trying this out because it plays pretty well with Annex. It is a 2/3 for 4 hybrid white-red, and it has double strike, and you can pay 4 hybrid white-red to give it +1/+1 until the end of turn. Not sure on this card. We'll see. Solemn Simulacrum is a 4 mana 2/2. When it enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a basic land, put that card onto the battlefield, tap, then shuffle your library. When Solemn Simulacrum dies, you may draw a card. We have a couple of spells and 1 artifact. We have Resolute Strike. Target creature gets +2/+2 till the end of turn. If it's a warrior, any in this column here, you can attach an equipment you control. So you can attach one of your bigger equipments for free. We have Sajiri Shelter, can come into play as a tapped land, or you can give your creature for 2 mana protection from the color of your choice until the end of turn. And Arcane Signet, 2 mana, add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. The deck consists of 4 planeswalkers. Basari Ket, a 3 mana, 3 loyalty planeswalker. Put a 1/1 counter on up to 1 target creature. It gains indestructible until the end of turn, which makes you able to attack with your equipped warriors. -2, whenever one or more non-token creatures attack this turn, create that many 1/1 white soldier creature tokens that are tapped and attacking, and it's -6 as you get an emblem with at the beginning of combat on your turn. Create a 1/1 white soldier creature token, then put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. So it's -6 is game breaking if you can get it there. Then we have Elspeth Sun's Nemesis. I just got this card recently, so if you're wondering why it's not in my other decks that contain white, for it's a 4 mana 5 loyalty planeswalker that only has negatives. So I shouldn't say negative, it has minuses. So -1, up to 2 target creatures get +2/+1 until the end of turn. -2, create 2 1/1 white human soldier creature tokens. -3, gain 5 life, escape 6, so 2 white and 4 colorless, and exiling 4 of the cards from your graveyard. You can recast Elspeth Sun's Nemesis from your graveyard. Then we have Nahiri, Heir of the Ancients. In theory, she could be the commander, but I thought Akiri was just faster and stronger. Her +1 is create a 1/1 white core warrior creature token. You may attach an equipment you control to it. -2, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal a warrior or equipment card from among them. Put it into your hand, put the rest on the bottom of your library in random order. -3, Nahiri Heir of Ancient deals damage to target creature or planeswalker equal to twice the number of equipment you control. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you could deal 16 damage if you had them all in play. Odds are you're going to be dealing 4, maybe 6. But for a 4 mana 4 loyalty planeswalker, it's pretty good. And the last is Chandra, Heart of Fire. Here again, I just recently got this card. So it was not in any of my red decks before, that's why. Discard your hand and exile the top 3 cards of your library until end of turn. You may play cards exiled this way. That's a +1. 5 mana for 5 loyalty planeswalker. Another +1. Target or Chandra, Heart of Fire deals 2 damage to any target. -9, search your graveyard and library for any number of red instant and or sorcery cards, exile them, then shuffle your library. You may cast them this turn Add 6 red mana to your mana pool. All right. So she's more there to draw you cards. And right, we have 7 plains, 8 mountains, Needle Verge Pathway, Pillar Verge Pathway, Temple of Triumph, Windscarred Crag, Command Tower, Fabled Passage, and I just realized we don't have the Castle Ardenvale, or we're doing some deck teching on the fly, people. Castle Garenbreak. Both of these I think will be great for the deck. All right, there you have it. Akiri, Fearless Voyager. Thanks for watching, and we're gonna get into the games in the next video. Have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, wherever you are in the world. Take care. Happy New Year. Bye for now.